This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. It's now time for our entertainment segment, and this morning we are talking about the movie Frozen.
That's right, a new animated movie put out there for the whole family. Actually, you know, I went into it thinking, my wife and I both went into it thinking it was going to be a completely different movie. The trailers you watch beforehand and what short trailers they put out for it really makes you think this movie is about a guy, a moose, and a snowman that comes to life. I mean, it really is what it seems like. But when you get to it, it's actually a musical about two sisters. And the snowman and the moose come in way later in the movie. And that really kind of put me through a surprise because I was like, all right, where's this moose and the snowman at? The whole time I'm like waiting for it. And the bad part about that is you go in expecting a comedy movie because that's really what they pushed with the trailer. But you go in getting something completely different until about halfway through the movie when they introduce the snowman and the moose, and then it becomes that comedy you expected. So for my taste of a movie, I just, the first half of the movie was like, all right, we've heard this story 1,000 times. Can we just cut to the comedy part? Because that's what animated films are becoming nowadays, is just comedy, and rightfully so for the age demographic that they're chasing. But the second half of the movie was really where it entertained me and my wife is when the comedy kicks in and because the moose and the snowman are both really comedic characters. They actually bring a lot of funny things to the movie that I don't know. I expected, but I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was.
All right.
So that being said, the cartoon part of it, the actual creation of the cartoon aspect, is spot on. I mean, it's what we expect nowadays. Nothing that blows your mind as far as CG or anything like that. The actors behind this, Kristen Bell is the only one that really kind of sticks out. She's the only one that you would really even recognize, and even then, I don't think she's famous enough to recognize her voice and be like, oh, yeah, that's Kristen Bell. But there's not a whole lot of famous actors in this. So all that taken into the plot line being something we've heard before, not great CG. It's still a great movie out there for the kids. And even a date movie. My wife and I enjoyed going to it. It's one of those movies that we need right now because if you look at what we have, you have Hunger Games. That's not appropriate for children. You've got 12 Years a Slave, not appropriate for children. You've got all these movies out there that aren't really great kids movies. And it's that time of year to take your kids to the movies. So I think this is a good movie for the time of year. Now, had this come out when we had all the other movies that were out, it wouldn't be so popular.
And it probably won't do as good as it,
So I'm going to say 3 stars on this one. Strictly because I think the time of year, had this come out with all the other animated movies we've seen this year, probably would have knocked down to 2. But the time of year it came out, I think it's perfect. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good family movie. Good one to take the kids to.
Alrighty. Thanks for that.
Not a problem.
We'll be right back.